Hello and welcome back to the Old Realms, and well, I had to come back, okay? I literally had to come back to deal with the remainder of the Brass Keep. Unfortunately for me, because I had Doctor's Oath, obviously I am the medic for my team, so basically what that means is every single person is most likely going to not be killed, and considering I was killing so many enemies myself because the aura from my special ability seems to only knock people unconscious rather than kill them, we now have a huge attrition problem. But that's actually not too bad, because my medicine skill is so good that I was able to restore my army back to full strength without too many issues, but it did take quite some time for that to happen. So now I am in a situation where we have to do this again. Why is there a catapult? What? I thought I destroyed all the catapults. Oh dear. Well, that's a bit of a problem, isn't it? Yes, that is a bit of a problem. I can only hope that we're not going to have any issues with this. Okay, so the best thing I can do right now is to use my comet. I cannot die here. If I die, we are basically done. There is nothing I can do then. Okay, I have to get in here and I have to activate my aura. And I have to... What, do I not have my aura already? Apparently I don't. Okay, that's interesting. Let's use my healing hand right here. Let's use, no, I can't use Vanquish yet. Okay, that's kind of sad. All right, let's try to charge up our ability. That's the best thing I can do right now. Okay, there we go. There's my ability. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, we're gonna have to try this. I mean, basically, this is actually a really good way to level up characters. By the way, I mean, obviously we saw that in the previous episode. Really, really good way of leveling up your skills. And I'm actually at full HP again, so that's wonderful. But unfortunately for me, I have a bad feeling that we're maybe going to have some issues here. I'm going to actually use... Vanquish is not working. Okay, I'm going to use my Comet here just to kind of get people out of the way a little bit. And just to kind of support our people somewhat. Yeah, I'm going to have to continue attacking though, because my aura is going to run out in just a second, and I do need to charge it up as soon as possible. There we go. We got it. We got it. Okay, nice, nice. Just continue to use it again. And I'm now at 275 in athletic skill, which is really, really good. That means I will be able to increase my HP by another 25, which is obviously fantastic. That's what we want. We want to become an absolute unstoppable killing machine, which, hilariously enough, didn't really help me before, did it? No. Me having a huge amount of HP didn't really make any difference beforehand, which is quite funny. But there's not much I can do about that. Anyway, I'm just going to use my Comet here. That didn't do much, but that really does not matter. It is a 30-second cooldown, which is not really that bad. And, oh yeah. Oh, the damage. The damage! It is insane. Oh, I should have been actually swinging like this the entire time. What? Okay, yeah. I should have been doing this the whole time. This is crazy. The amount of cleave that we have available to us is actually enormous, and I did not realize that. I was using overheads the entire time, and I should have been using horizontal. Yes. Oh, wow. Yes, I should have been using wide cleaving strikes, but I was thinking to myself that that would probably not work because we were going to get blocked by some of our own troops. But whenever we were free, I should have been using horizontals. That would have made so much more sense. Wow, okay, I made a huge error in the previous episode then. Okay, let's use Healing Hand right here. Let's get Comet. Boom! Okay, that actually did very little for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why that happened. Okay. And let's just continue to keep up with them. It's actually quite funny because for me personally, I actually think that this damage that the aura does is exactly what we would want. I actually do not have a problem with it dealing 10 damage because most enemies, they're going to have a decent amount of HP. Obviously, if we're not talking about tree men or dryads or anything that has an exorbitant amount, you know, because they're going to have huge, huge amounts of HP. But if we're not talking about those, then doing 10 damage per tick is, in my opinion, very, very fine. I don't have a problem with that whatsoever. I'd actually like to go and help these guys out first, because I have a feeling that if we allow these guys over here by this section of wall to survive a second time, we're actually going to have huge problems. So I'm just going to buff everyone with fiery weapons. It seems like we've already cleared them out. Okay, how many have we killed? Yeah, we've killed absolutely everyone. Okay, so yeah, there's just 78 remaining, and I believe we are actually done. So I wanted to kind of close this chapter of the chaos in this area, in this episode, because obviously we basically almost 100% completed it in the previous one, but unfortunately I wasn't able to, for very obvious reasons. Just got headshot and had too much damage, just too much damage taken, you know. And I think that's actually the reason why maybe it's a good idea for me to have different armor, because as it stands right now, my armor on my headpiece extremely limited. It's very, very fragile. So I actually think that it might be a good idea for me to replace my helmet at least, maybe with something that's really, really protective. And yeah, we are otherwise done. And that is it. Yes, a wonderful, wonderful victory for us. And we're obviously not done yet. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure how much we would have actually gained if I did this from the very beginning, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. Yep, 207 renown. Not too bad, not too bad. Obviously not as much, I think, that, you know, as we would have gotten beforehand otherwise. But we did gain a significant amount of prestige, as you could see. Look at that. I only had, what was it, 13? Didn't I only have 13 prestige or something like that? And now I have 255. So that is a significant amount. And what we're going to do is I'm just going to literally get some Chaos Warriors of Nurgle. And then we're just going to move on. And look at how much we can get here. And look at this. I mean, the funny thing about these items right here is that obviously from a protection standpoint, they are amazing, right? I mean, literally, look at this thing right here. 43 body armor, 23 arm armor, and I would love to be able to use this, but should I? Should I actually use it? You know what? It looks weird. Oh, it looks weird. It looks weird. I don't know. Not a terribly big fan of it, I gotta say, but I am gonna use it, okay? I am gonna use it, and then we're just gonna donate the rest to whoever. And we've taken it. There we go. We've taken Brass Keep, which is decent, I guess. I mean, that's okay. I'm actually not entirely sure what that even gets me, to be honest, because I am still a mercenary, so it doesn't really give me anything. It just kind of gives our faction a little thing, a little thief somewhere. I don't know. It doesn't really give us that much, but yeah, anyway. Let's see what I could do here. I do want to get another point in intelligence if we can. I have 10 in discipline now, by the way, as well. Just purely because we got gunpowder here, which gave me +1 to discipline. So yeah, we've gained a significant amount from that. And otherwise, let me see, +1. No, this is not particularly useful right here. I think I'll just go for Physician of the People or something like that. I do have a focus point to spend as well, so I'm probably going to be going for... probably will go for leadership. That sounds like a good idea. Did I level up again? Yes, I did. So now we can actually get this. And I'm wondering if there's anything that I don't particularly need. No. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to just level up one more time, and then we're going to be good. Yeah, we're going to be in a really, really good situation. All right. So I'm making 15,000, which is kind of funny. I'm making 15,000 per day, which is really nice. Unfortunately, that isn't going to last too long. You know, it's going to last a day or 2 or 3, and that's pretty much it. But I will be able to sell quite a lot of stuff. And you know what? I am actually going to be attempting to buy a helmet. So let's buy this helmet. This looks absolutely terrible. I don't really like it, so I'm actually going to replace it with the Blazing Sun. I'm not a big fan of this either, to be honest. You know, the main reason why I'm not a big fan of this is because of the plumage on the top of the helmet. That's going to be the main problem here, because it is going to block our view, which is the main issue. Okay, I'm just going to lock these things, and whoa, okay. Is there something else that I can buy that is actually going to give me something good? I mean, you can see here that this is obviously fantastic. I mean, from a protection standpoint, it's really, really good, but I don't know whether I really want to do that. Do I really want to do that? I mean, I could get some boots. That's going to give me some better leg armor. I could get some gloves, which is going to give me some better arm armor. I mean, maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, you know what? Fine. Let's just do it. Wait. Did I literally just do something really stupid right there? Yeah, I just sold them back for no reason. Alright, that's fine. 56,000. Really? Still 56,000? Okay, this is kind of strange. Alright, well, I guess I should... Do I really want to get these guys anything? I think I'm just going to leave them the way they are, to be honest. I think I'm just going to buy these. And there we have it. Okay. Yeah, we're just going to have to do that, I guess. I mean, I don't really know what else I could do. But yeah, 20,000 actually. 20,000 for our prisoners, which is actually very nice. And we have almost 500,000 in gold. We're obviously still gaining some gold too. And I kind of wonder now, do you think we can tackle some really big sieges? And I'm talking about, you know, actual proper sieges that are not against the same kind of unit over and over. I'm thinking maybe that would be kind of cool. Maybe we could try and make that work. That might be kind of fun, or at least I think it might be kind of fun. Maybe it's going to be cool. Maybe it can be something doable. Or maybe it's not going to be doable. That's the thing. I actually don't know. Is this a town right here? I think this is a town, right? Should I try and take this? Do you think I can actually take this? Maybe. Shall we try? You know what? I am going to try, okay? We are going to try and take this. This is going to be extremely, extremely unlikely because obviously the only reason why we were able to take Brass Keep so easily is because the enemy basically had no vassals whatsoever with which to, you know, oppose us in any way. They could, you know, scream at us a little bit because they had about, you know, 50 or so units each, but that's pretty much it. They didn't have anything else. And so that's obviously a problem that these guys probably don't have, and they're probably going to be able to attack us pretty easily with a very large force indeed. So I guess I'm just going to keep a lookout for them, and if they appear, then I'll know where to go. Well, it's sure been a while since you last saw me here, and I've built all of my trebuchets, of course, and the enemy now no longer has, you guessed it, any food. They have no food whatsoever, so this should be pretty easy for us once they start starving and losing all of their garrison and everything, but I wouldn't count them out just yet because you never know. Sometimes the militia can surprise us with some massive volleys and everything. And what I found quite funny is that I did see a relatively large army of about 200 and something running around, and I'm actually very surprised that they didn't decide to go in and actually attack us. It's a bit strange. I don't know why they're being so hesitant. Maybe they had other ideas. Maybe there was something else that they needed to do before attacking me. I actually don't know. So we're gonna find out, I suppose. I mean, basically the garrison is pretty much done, as you see here, and then we just have to deal with Empire State troops and all that wonderful stuff, so we shouldn't have too many issues with them. And all I'm gonna do is just get rid of all these trebuchets. I actually wonder how it's gonna be for me to go in there. And this is quite funny because I'm doing this completely as a mercenary, which is very funny because I don't actually understand why I would do this as a mercenary, to be honest. But I have my new armor on, as you can see. Okay, the plumage isn't actually super bad. The plumage is pretty good for me. It seems fine. Seems to be providing me with not a terrible viewing experience, because there's been a number of times in the past where I've actually put on a helmet, and the helmet itself has blocked my view rather considerably. I mean, you can see here, even when I zoom in, it's not that bad. So I'm pretty happy with that. And now let's see what I can do. Okay, so obviously I just want to make sure that I get my aura as fast as possible. Already got it 80%. Okay, come on now. One more hit, one more hit. There we go, perfect. Okay, so now we can just do this. And now, as you can see, my damaging aura only does 7 damage. Just bear that in mind. It only does 7 damage now in comparison to 10. But I think that the protective value of the armor, the new armor, is actually making more of a difference than that extra 3 damage. Because yes, okay, fine. We are doing 14 damage instead of 20 with 2 ticks. And it does add up. Just bear that in mind. Obviously, it does add up to have 10 damage rather than 7 damage. But I would personally prefer to have an easier time surviving an encounter rather than having a situation where I'm gonna just die instantaneously from some random hit or another, which is exactly what tends to happen when we're wearing the other armor. So that's obviously a pretty big deal. Anyway, yeah, there we go. My aura is now ready. Let's use Vanquish on these guys. Try to get them a little bit buffed up. Let's use Healing Hand. As you can see, these enemies literally cannot do anything to me. I'm literally standing here, not even fighting them. And look at my HP. I'm just healing myself super, super dramatically here because I'm obviously standing in Healing Hands. And I also have my aura enabled. And also, with my new protection, nothing can stop us. Nothing at all can stop us. And, I mean, that's the one thing you've got to bear in mind here. They don't have good penetration, right? They don't have good penetration. And the main reason why that is, and this is maybe going to be quite surprising to some of you, but the main reason why they don't have good penetration is because their weapons are way too small and a little bit limp. So it's going to be a bit difficult for them to actually get good penetration on us specifically. And it's nothing to do with us being, you know, not handsome or whatever, because let's face it, Byron is a pretty handsome individual, so there's no reason to assume that people wouldn't be able to have good penetration against him. But it doesn't matter, because as we've seen, we are absolutely destroying. Wow, I'm actually surprised. We've lost 0 people? How did we lose 0 people? Are you serious right now? That's crazy. Okay, I'm actually very surprised about that. But yeah, as you can see right here, I could charge these guys just instantaneously. I could just charge them. I took a... Did I take a headshot or something like that from one of their bows or something? I actually don't know. But the fact is, I can basically just run into them now. Now that I have new armor. So it seems to me like I would highly recommend just replacing your warrior priest armor if you're playing a similar character to I am right now. These bonuses are sometimes not really gonna make that much of a difference in comparison to being able to stay alive. And I personally think that prioritizing staying alive is definitely going to make more sense, because you're going to be able to do more damage. You know, that is the old adage after all. I don't know if you've played any MMORPGs in the past, but the #1 rule when it comes to actually being in a raid type situation, the #1 rule is to stay alive. Because if you're not alive, you're not going to be doing any damage. Even if you do really good damage for the first minute of the fight, if the fight lasts 3-4 minutes, you won't be doing anything for those 3-4 minutes, so you're basically going to be completely useless. And that's the reason why I personally believe that survivability, in this case, is going to be far and away surpassing the extra little bit of damage that we gained from the warrior priest armor. But there you go, 90 renown for us. Pretty nice, pretty nice. I actually like that quite a bit. I actually had a lot of fun going in and actually fighting now. Because, funnily enough, I wasn't having... I wasn't not having fun before. But I think that in general, having a good protective couple of pieces of armor really makes a huge difference to one's enjoyment of a particular character. We've seen that time and time again with the Waywatcher as well, because the Waywatcher, if you remember, also we got a demigryph, by the way. As you can see, there's a literal demigryph here, a snow lion demigryph and a bunch of regular demigryphs too. So this is all thanks to Veterinarian. So this is going to be exceptionally cool if I get my riding skill up, which I'm probably not going to do, all things considered, but it is available. You know, I can actually get it if I want to, but I think for me personally, I'm probably not going to do that, just because I don't really... I don't know. I feel like this character doesn't really need to ride around on a mount to be super effective. And I kind of want to keep him a little bit, shall we say, more puristic in his style, at least for the moment. I didn't level up or anything like that, which is kind of sad, but I can't really do much about that. Okay, let's just see what these guys decide to do. Obviously, this is a town, so I don't really need to do much here. I am pretty much just going to leave anyway. But I find it quite funny that I am literally capturing things like it's breathing. Which is quite... it's super weird, actually, for me, personally, because I wouldn't have expected me to be able to take this. But you have to bear in mind that I did take down the walls, and I did wait until the enemy had been completely starved out. So, what about if we try something completely different here? I'm going to try... Okay, oh, you're actually fighting me? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, okay. I was actually not anticipating this. I thought that they would be trying to avoid me, or you know, doing something else. I thought they would definitely be a little bit busy doing something else in some way or another. But yes, anyway, let's see what we can do here. So I'm basically just going to wait a minute. What do I have? I've got a huge amount of cavalry and pretty much nothing else. So I'm just going to literally charge all of my cavalry, and then I'm just going to put my archers into a loose formation, and that's pretty much it. Very, very simplistic. But there isn't really anything else I can do because I have so many cavalry. That's the reason why we basically need to continue fighting. Otherwise, my wages are going to be so extreme that it's going to be very, very difficult for us to maintain anything at that point. So here we go. Let's wait a minute. Do they have any not cavalry? Do they have any artillery? That's the one thing that we kind of have to be a bit careful of. And also bear in mind, if they have any piercing damage, we might have some issues, because that is very much, you know, capable of killing us, as we've seen. Piercing damage is very effective. Higher penetration values, obviously, as I've already mentioned, they do have pretty good chances of killing us, but it seems like they're not really able to do much. Oh, they do have some guns, so that might be a bit problematic. We really do not want to get a load in the face, do we? That's not the best idea, at least right now. Maybe we do? I don't know. It very much depends. You know? What does the gunner look like, right? That's the whole point. Anyway. Sorry, I couldn't keep a straight face that time. Anyway, we are going to make sure that we flatten every single person with our massive bonking stick. That's what we have right here. It's a massive bonking stick. I mean, no offense right now, but this is what the Empire should call the warrior priest hammers. Massive bonking stick, because that's what it is. That is literally what it is right now. And it's almost like an Ogren is holding this thing, you know, to be honest. Obviously, it's not really the same kind of thing that what they would use, but it's crazy. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of Dark Tide, actually. Really, really fun game. But yeah, anyway, let me see if I can actually kill this guy. There we go, thank you. The halberdier was being kind of annoying, but yeah, we are basically immune to damage right now, as you can see. These, I mean, wait a minute. Let me actually just reserve judgment a little bit here, because I say immune to damage, but we're actually not, because the only reason why we're having an easier time here is because of my own forces. My forces are doing such a great job of disrupting enemies pretty much across the board here that I don't really need to do much. I can pretty much just run around here randomly attacking whoever I come across, and that's all I really need to do. There isn't really any real need for me to do other things. It seems like there are some enemies that are actually mounted, surprisingly enough. Can we kill some of them? Hello there, sir. There we go, kill him. And yeah, otherwise, I think that's... Yeah, I mean, we've literally only lost 3 people, and even their lances are not doing that much. 43 damage? Wait a minute. That guy literally did 43 damage to me? It felt like he did 2 damage. Okay. I guess that just goes to show new armor really makes a huge difference. As I said before, the Waywatcher series that we had, I was feeling really fragile with that class because I wanted to maintain a wood elf look. But as soon as I decided, you know what, I'm just going to throw caution to the wind here, and I'm literally just going to abandon the theme for now and just see how it goes. And as soon as I did that, I was able to survive pretty much any encounter or most of the encounters that we had. And it was really effective. So I think what I should probably do in the future is just think about gameplay benefits over the aesthetic choices that we can potentially make. Because in many cases, I feel like being able to survive and being able to be effective in certain combat situations is going to be so much better than if we wouldn't do that. You know what I mean? So I personally think that that's probably what I'm going to do in future, and instead we'll just be a little bit careful, you know? A little bit careful about trying to maintain an aesthetic too heavily. I think that's one thing we should probably be a bit more aware of, because if we're not aware of it, we are literally just going to walk straight into being one of the weakest, I don't know, vassals, mercenaries, whatever you want to call us, in the realm, because we are deciding to be stubborn and not upgrading our gear. I think that's going to be one of the worst things that we could potentially do. Anyway, plus 10 battle morale in siege battles. I don't think I actually need that, but I'll take it, sure. Well, whatever. Sounds decent enough, I suppose. I am probably going to get a sally out here, in my opinion. I think I will probably get a sally out in just a second, because they have this guy in there, and they also have this guy. They have 2 people in there, and I'm highly assuming... I'm being very overconfident right now, but I'm doing that very much on purpose. I am very much aware that I am taking an action that I personally think is very risky, and I think I probably could lose. I could very easily lose this. Extremely easily, in actual fact. But I want to try it, you know? I want to try it, and I want to see whether we can actually achieve victory against these odds. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to destroy the walls, and then I'm just going to go straight in, okay? That's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to wait for the starvation or anything like that, even though technically that would be the sound strategy. But I am going to try and see whether we can take down the walls before the starvation mechanic hits, and then we'll see whether we can still achieve victory at that point. Because if we can achieve victory even in that situation, I think we will have definitely proven that the warrior priest is very, very strong. Obviously, this is generally what you can consider, you know, most of the time with the Old Realms. A lot of the classes are very powerful, and that's the reason why the mod is really good, you know, because the funny thing about mods like this and games in general is that whenever a class is really strong, usually the developer will be like, oh, you know what, we're going to nerf that. And sure, okay, fine, sometimes that is indeed necessary, but on the flip side, I personally feel like it would be so much better. And this is a very common thing that tends to happen quite often in all kinds of different situations. They never decide to buff every other class. Because obviously that's much more work. Of course, that is much more work. And no one wants to do more work, right? No one wants to be like, oh yeah, I have to go through every single one of the other classes. That's annoying, right? Yeah, that is pretty annoying. However, I feel like, personally, that is much more the way to go over nerfing one class. Unless that is where you want the balance to be. Obviously, it is all to do with the vision of the development team, whatever it is. And I'm not even only talking about the Old Realms now, I'm talking about every single game in existence. So if there is ever a time where there is a game that needs balancing or is very much to do with, you know, theory crafting or min-maxing in any way, shape or form, and the player base, the community, whatever, wants to min-max in some way or another, then I personally think it is a better idea to buff every single class to make them just as overpowered as each other, because I think that is the most fun. But obviously it very much, as I said, very much depends on the vision of the development team rather than what I personally think. But I like that. I like the feeling of being strong, because I think that's the most fun. I think that's the most satisfying, you know, because being able to run in here with my aura running and just slaughtering huge amounts of opponents. Bear in mind, I am still capable of dying. I can still die. If one of these cavalry people came up to me and lanced me in the back, I would take massive damage if they would actually do it properly, right? If they would actually do it properly, I would very, very quickly die. I would take a lot of damage, but because they are obviously having a lot of disruption, there's a lot of my own forces running in and around this area, and they're making, you know, very good headway on that. But the fact is, the amount of damage that my cavalry are doing just through sheer disruption is invaluable, because without that, I think I would probably be dying much faster. And as I've said, if I have a death by 1,000 cut situation on my hands, I can pretty easily survive that, just because of the way that the aura works. Because obviously it heals me for 3 HP every second or something like that. But if I were to have burst damage coming in, then I would die very fast. We've already seen that, so I don't need to reiterate upon that again. But I just thought I would mention it just so that, you know, it's clear that that is indeed the weakness of the Warrior Priest. I seem to recall that that was actually the weakness of the Warrior Priest back in Warhammer Online as well. I actually did play that very, shall we say, very lightly at the time, because I was playing other games much more often. And I kind of feel sad about that now, because it would have been really cool to actually play Warhammer Online. I know that there is actually a community, I think there is a community server running, I think, not entirely sure. I think someone told me about that a while ago, and I think I looked it up, and they do have some things going on there. And yeah, that's actually amazing, and that just goes to show, you know, communities that are passionate about something, they can achieve anything. It's really very inspiring. Anyway, yeah, let's just, well, wait a minute. I might be getting singled out here right now. Might be having a couple of issues. Do I need to get my polearm out, actually? Yes. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't actually know. I mean, if I could level my polearms up, that might be kind of useful, but, I mean, you can see here that we're maybe having some issues. I don't know whether it's actually a good idea for me to do so or not. Let's actually just get my archers into a position here. I mean, the thing is, my polearm is actually long enough that we might be able to eliminate some people on their mounts, but as you can quite clearly tell, they're actually very difficult. Wait a minute. You know what? Let's use my comment. Boom. Yeah, there we go. That is what you get, sir. Alright, let's eliminate these guys. Thank you. Okay, I'm almost getting my aura back up, and as you can see, they're now starting to run away, which is perfect. I should have been using my comet much more often here, as I was getting swarmed by huge amounts of cavalry. I completely forgot that that was its main usage. That's because I was talking about other things. That's great. But at least now I've remembered it. And let's use it again when it's ready. Kill that guy. Thank you. Get these guys out of my way. And where are the enemy cavalry now? There's one here. There's a couple coming up here. Okay, yeah. Let's try to use that. Boom. Nice. Okay, I hit one person. Okay. Yes. Well, I hit a handful of people, but I only hit one cavalry person, which was obviously not exactly great, but I guess it's good enough, right? I guess it's good enough. But yeah, we are absolutely slaughtering everything here, and I think we will probably be fine. We've lost 10 units, and most of them were Holy Wardens. Oh, they were the only ones we had. Okay, that's kind of unfortunate. I guess that just goes to show that, yeah, you do need to focus on the enemy's cavalry. That would probably be a good idea. But there you go. They're now starting to retreat, which is wonderful. And there we have it. There you go. 100 renown, 97 influence, and 46 morale. Very nice indeed. I'm always very, very pleased when we win battles like this, because I think that it's a lot of fun to do that. And you can see, look at how many skill points I gained in leadership. It's actually crazy how much leadership we gained from this. I'm just going to let these guys go. I don't really see the point in capturing them, to be honest. And we're just going to be swapping these prisoners around. Taking the highest levels, of course. Taking as many high levels as possible. Yeah, decent-ish gloves. I guess we can wear the decent-ish gloves. Why not? Anything else? Nope. Okay, we will just take the rest of the loot. I don't even have enough space. I don't even have enough space to be able to take the rest of the loot, which is quite funny. Not sure why that is, but yeah, I'm just going to leave the siege now, because while I wouldn't mind going in, they do have over 1,000. I do need to restore myself a little bit here. And what is this? The campfire. Oh, okay, I see. All companions healed and all wounded troops restored. That sounds really good to me. As you can see, we're now back up to full strength, which is hilarious. Okay, that was really, really powerful. Anyway, that is going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.